Alright, so now that we've covered the topics of what you need to know and what you need before continuing, and make sure you have all the things I mentioned in that video. And so without further ado, let's begin. How to program your first C program. Okay, this first C program is what programmers like to call a classic. When they're trying out a new language, they tend to try this simple statement. All it's going to do is it's going to output some text to the console. And so here we have hello world. We're going to make the computer say hello world. And so let's get started. And so here I'm using my Windows 7 computer to run this program. And I will be showing you how to do this in Mac OS X and Ubuntu as well. So just bear with me. So I'm using Microsoft Visual Studio Express 2013 for Windows Desktop. If you're running a Microsoft operating system, then I recommend Visual Studio. Alright, so the first thing I want to do in Visual Studio is go to File, New Project. We could also go down here, Start, New Project. And so, in this side box here, pick Visual C++. I know we are not working with C++, but Visual Studio does not have any specific selections for C. So then we want to choose Win32 console application. And so here it goes the name of our program, and here you can save your program wherever you want. And so I'm going to call this one Hello World, and I recommend you don't use any spaces. Alright, so just click Finish. Okay, so here we are in the Visual Studio environment. So as you can see, Visual Studio provides us some pre-written code. And so for C, we're just going to want to remove this line here, and remove this part to int main. Now I will explain what all this does later on in this course, but as of now, you want to make sure every program you write starts off with include and in greater than or less than brackets stdio.h, and then underneath that type int main, and two parentheses, one opening, one closing, and I will explain these all later on. But as of right now, what's important is what goes inside the main. So we're just going to create two curly brackets, and the code that we're going to run is going to go in between the two curly brackets. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to make the computer print out hello world. And so how we do this in C is we write printf opening bracket, opening quotation mark, hello world, closing parenthesis, closing bracket, semicolon. And in C, and in many other languages too, a semicolon is necessary at the end of each statement in order to tell the computer that this line ends here. If I wanted to, after this semicolon, I could do another printf statement, and the computer wouldn't complain about it. But as of right now, we're just doing one printf statement. And also, another thing that's required for every C program is at the end of every main, inside every main, at the end, there must be return 0. And so here is our basic program. We included something called a header file, and I will explain these in much more detail later on. We have an int main, opening bracket, closing bracket. When a computer runs a C program, it looks for this. When it finds this, it runs whatever is inside. And in this case, we're asking the computer to print out hello world. Okay, Alright, now I'm going to show Mac users how to do the same thing I just showed you in Visual Studio. So first, go to File, New, Project. So we'll have two options here, iOS or OSes. We're going to go into OSes, click Application, Command Line Tool, Next. Now let's just call this Hello World. I'm going to call it Hello World 2 because I already had a similar file. Alright, create. Alright, so here we are. So the file we're going to want to click is main.m. Click that. Then erase all this. And so, similar. Alright, now how to do it for you Ubuntu Linux users. So first thing we're going to do is either press the home button or click the dash home button right here. So that'll take us here. We're going to go and type in terminal. So the first one, open that up. Okay, so first thing we want to do is find a good place to save it. So I'm just going to save it in desktop. So we're going to want to take the terminal to the desktop directory by typing in cd desktop. And then I want to save it in this particular folder here. So I'm going to type in cd multi-2 man. Okay, so now that we're in this folder, just type in gedit main.c. Now you don't necessarily have to type in main.c. You can type in, I don't know, hello world or something like that, whatever title you want. But make sure it ends with .c. Then press enter. Then it should open up the text editor. So now we're going to do the same thing as we did in 0. And then save, press Control S. And yeah. And so that's it for this tutorial. On the next tutorial, I will be showing you guys how to run these programs. So until then,